Hello, everybody. This is Sahil Solanki from IIM Ranchi, and here I am with my batchmates. So I have selected some people of different genres. So we have Bipasha Tiwari, who had humanities background, who dropped NID and DU, and we don't know whether she'll continue with IIM Ranchi or not. Then we have
That's a lie.
Ishika Rai. Okay, fine, sure. We have Ishika Rai, who had non-maths in class 11th and 12th, still got the call from IIM Indore. And we have Kislay, who had biology in class 11th and 12th. And he got the call from Purdue University. And despite having a good score at SAT, he came to Ranchi. I don't know why. Okay, so we have Bhavesh. I don't think he needs an introduction. So if you need mocks, you can contact Ace IPM. And we have Bhavesh for that. He also dropped from DU and he had commerce with maths. So thank you so much, guys, for coming on this big channel. Are you feeling privileged?
Honored, bro.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's start with the first question. Okay, so let's start with your journey so far at IIM Ranchi. Can you just brief about that? Let's start with Ishika.
Okay, so I would say my journey so far till now has been amazing because I have got great peers, great faculty, good curriculum, and everything was like amazing.
True. Bhavesh, want to add?
I expected this to be management, and I went with the orthodox approach. And it was fascinating that in the morning I'm studying psychology, in the evening I'm studying mathematics, trying to study mathematics. Then I have psychology, history, arts appreciation, and all in all, it just feels like a first year of college of an education system which I was not familiar with. It's just all over the place, which has its own benefits, pros and cons.
Exactly, like we are studying physics and biology. Where do we get that, right? Bipasha?
I mean, the few months that we've been here, they've been amazing. And I mean, even more than the subjects, we already knew what we were getting into in terms of subjects. So little idea we had, but the quality of batchmates, and I cannot stress on this enough. I absolutely love the batchmates that I have. Like everybody's so well-rounded, and the kind of conversations that you start, like it's amazing. So mainly, like apart from the education, the main thing that I've been really enjoying in college right now is the people and the faculty.
Okay, Kislay.
So I might look really old, but I am also 20. But I've been into 3 colleges. This is my 3rd one, and when I compare the other 2, which have been like reputed colleges themselves, this has been the best student group. The selection process is really nice. And why do you even come to a good college? For networking, right? You get the best networking here. You have like the best batch, bro. What do you want? And also, I didn't know about Indore or any other IIM. So
Okay, so that's a very funny fact.
Because I don't have.
Kislay did not know about IPM Indore and Rohtak. He just knew that there is Ranchi, and he just filled SAT and came. Good. So we are on the same.
I applied in February, bro.
Okay, so you and Bipasha are on the same. We're trying out colleges like you're trying out clothes, right? In a mall.
Yeah.
Sure. My approach was a little bit more methodical because I knew I wanted to get into IPMAT. The course interested me, but I wasn't able to clear it the first time around.
Okay,
but
so
yeah, I did change clothes. Like I changed clothes.
Okay, so next question on that. What was your reason like to choose IIM Ranchi? First, we'll go with Bhavesh. Like you got into DU, right? And this was not your drop year. If you would have stayed like 1 year, you would have taken a drop. If you may have got IIM Indore or any other IIM, right? So what was your reason to choose IIM Ranchi?
Parents forced me. So in the Delhi University ka ECA, I got a seat in the animation category. And last year, there was 1 seat for the Hindu college. I was like, perfect, ho jayega. I can save 30 lakhs of fees. And the year I get in, that 1 lone seat for 1 male candidate goes away. And I'm like, oh, bad luck. Tragedy. And then Ranchi accepts me a day later. I was waiting list 35. Bahut time liya. It took its sweet time, but then I got in the last edge. And my dad didn't want me to take a drop year. He's like, if we give him one drop year, he will never go to college ever again. So in this opportunity, let us push him into one. And I do recognize the use cases of college, from being independent to self-development and whatnot. So I'm very, very happy to leverage my skill sets in academics to pursue this.
Okay, so yeah, I have one more question on that. Like, you are the co-founder of ACE IPM, so you are doing a lot. You are the marketing head, right? So how did you manage like ACE IPM plus your boards? You had your boards plus the IPMAT prep.
Okay, I did IPMAT prep in 1 week, contrary to what everyone believes.
Nice.
Board exam, I didn't do anything. We had 40, 50 homeworks, so many notebook submissions. I didn't submit anything. And my school also didn't ask me. I'm really grateful to my school. Shout out to my school. And board exam got cancelled. Luck was on my side. And if IPM co-founder marketing thing, it comes to me naturally. I'd like to do that over everything else. And I also have a very strict and rigid plan in my calendar. This time slot is for this only and only this. So I stick to that, and it burns me out. It puts me in bad health. It makes me lose my sleep. But at the end of the day, I need to be like, all right, let me put my health first. But at the same time, let me not compromise too much.
Okay, great. So coming to Bipasha, like as I said that she dropped NID and DO, you can go to her channel. It's Vartalab. She has explained that in a video. But Bipasha, can you just brief it right now that why you left and what you got new at in here, like which was not there at NID and DO?
See, I mean, it's not fair to compare colleges that aren't for the same thing, because NID is clearly a design college. IIM Ranchi is a management college. DU is it's an academically oriented university. And then even in DU, it depends on which college you're getting into. So essay comparing, I wouldn't say is a really nice thing to do, but yeah, each of them have their own benefits. NID, again, my peers were amazing. NID had a few of its issues. I got burnt out at NID because the submission schedule is very, very rigorous. Like, it was normal for us to not sleep. For everybody in the batch, nobody got sleep. So that really took a toll on me. And then from the start, I knew that I wanted to sort of pursue management, to get into this sort of like a liberal arts education. I really believe there's a lot of power in that, to know some things about a lot of things, and then maybe go ahead and deep dive into one of the topics that you find interesting, right? So my main aim was to get into Indore. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to. And as every college, and as everybody who's aspiring to get into college does, I wrote a lot of entrances. Like, what not? Because I didn't have science. That's why I didn't write JE. Varna, I'm pretty sure I would have written JE also, because it's great to keep all of your options open. That is one advice that I would give everybody. Don't be stupid and don't like choose that, oh no, I only want to go to this college and that college. That is stupid. Beggars aren't choosers. You are, I remember that's a very humbling experience once you realize that you don't get into any college that you apply. And then you're like, hey, I am nobody. I should have applied to more colleges. So yeah, basically I didn't get into IIM Indore. I got into NID. So I was like, you know what? I'm not taking a full drop. So I went there. And then after a while, I realized, hey, this is not for me. And then fortunately, after I left NID, I got into DU. There was one spot that incidentally opened up. And I was like, okay, I'm switching. And I was over there. Over there also, I was pretty dissatisfied. But over in DU, one of the great advantages is you do have time. So although like it's very academically oriented, and if you pay attention in classes and like read your textbook, you can get by. So that was the advantage of DU. So I was preparing for IPMAT on the side, and then finally I got in here. So it's very, can't compare. Each of them had their own advantages.
Okay. Yeah, nice. I got you. So coming to Kisle, you got the scholarship, right? When you applied to the foreign university, you got called from a couple of universities from there. You had a decent score, but still you came here at IIM Ranchi. You also left some medical college, right? So tell me about that.
Yeah.
Why did you do so?
So medical college thing was the same reason as Dipash. I got too exhausted. Plus, it was mostly family pressure. Talking about the foreign university, Purdue offered me a decent scholarship, but it still was a lot of money, especially during COVID pandemic, because economic conditions were down. And so I realized it, and with the same SAT score, I applied in all Indian universities on College Board ka website. So I like Flame University, Ahmedabad University, Ashoka, I applied in all of them, and I got in most of them. But I was in a Ahmedabad University just because my friends were in other colleges, and I didn't want to just make it the school scenario again. So I was in Ahmedabad, and I was like chilling, and it was fun. College was easy going, and then I suddenly got a mail from IIM Ranchi, and I didn't even remember I applied to IIM Ranchi. I was like, bro, damn. And then I gave the interview and all, and like the interview is very easy. See, it's very wholesome. It's like they're gonna focus on co-curricular and little bit on academics. So keep whatever you study in 12. No need to learn anything about management, anything. They're gonna start talk about what you did in your +2 plus co-curriculars if you have them. That's about it. I got here, met nice people. Sahil is my roommate now. So it's been fun.
Yeah, too lucky to have you as roommate. Okay, so I think leaving except Bhavesh, Kislay, Ishika, and Bipasha, and me also, we are all droppers, right? So I think me and Ishika was a full-time dropper. So Ishika, can you just tell about your drop experience? How was it? Like you were from a non-maths background, and we know that in Indore, 40% of the paper is higher maths, right? Uh, in the math section. So how did you manage it?
I would say to clear the math section.
That much amount and getting the same degree, like if you would have done it from DU and then come back to here at IIM Ranchi, you would have paid like 15 to 16 lakhs and got the same degree and maybe good placement. So what do you guys think on this?
Okay. So don't just judge the college ka ROI by the placement offer, because after 2 or 3 years of your performance in the corporate sector, you are going to expedite your process based on how well you are, how good you perform, and you're not going to have just one income source, because we all are going to learn finance. So one myth out of the way. Now, is Ranchi worth it? Ye cheez ke liye, it's a very personalized question. For some people, they might feel ki nahi, some people might say yes. If you are not in the best economics condition to afford Ranchi, I would definitely say ki get a degree of BCom or BBA from colleges which are affordable to you, while you also have time to excel yourself. Because at the end of the day, the college can bring the horse to a pond, it can open a lot of doors, but the horse ko pani pilana, college is not going to force it. So all of us need to expedite ourselves and do something, and college is just one boon. I know for the fact that if I say I'm from IIM Ranchi, people's heads are going to turn, and people are definitely going to be like, okay, let's give him a chance. And even when I went for a national entrepreneurship competition, when people who have won the competition in the past and have asked me, like, how did you get in an IIM? Okay, that thing allows us to talk to bureaucrats. That thing allows us to talk to investors. And it just expedites the process so much. And the tag is definitely not a myth. And for that reason, because I want to be in this space, to me, it seems worth it. Can I do CAT after this? Sure. But after 3 years, will I still know maths? Definitely not. But I'll try my best to woo him.
I mean, another advantage that is there is that once you get into this program, you know that you have a safety net. And because everything's getting so much more competitive, you're not sure if you can crack an exam like CAT. So for that way, like a lot of us, this has been a point of consideration ki, even if like we aren't able to clear CAT and like get into a better college, we will still be here. That is a big part of the war of considering IIM Ranchi.
Yeah, actually having a sense of security, and you know that there is a good backing up for you, like if you also not clear CAT, then also you'll get a degree anyhow, right? Okay, so let's go to the preparation part. Like we know that Bhavesh only prepared for a week and that's it. So not a question for you, Bhavesh.
Also,
but
do not prepare for a week. Do not be like me.
ha,
I applied only to 1 or 2 colleges. Do not do that mistake. Don't let your ego get in the way. Apply to everything, like Bipasha said.
Like we see people on the Telegram fighting that, no, why to fill the form of that college? Like, dude, come on. You are in the beggar's position right now. Just get everything and then decide where you. Okay. So Bipasha and Ishika Kisle, how did you all prepare?
See, I'll be honest. I was lucky that I had math in 11th and 12th. My parents had told me ki take math. And I didn't want to, but I still took it. And it helped me in my preparation the first time around. Now, the thing is that the second time around, what happens is, and I think this happens with a lot of people, is that you get sort of complacent. Ki, अरे ये तो मैंने किया है, अरे ये बुक्स तो मैंने की हैं, आई हैव डन इतने मॉक्स लास्ट टाइम, नहीं हुआ था बिकॉज ऑफ लक या बिकॉज ऑफ दिस थिंग दैट थिंग इतना, एंड यू गेट कंप्लेसेंट. आई आल्सो गॉट वेरी कंप्लेसेंट. Although I was still in touch with math and like other subjects, I wasn't actively preparing, and I'm very guilty for that. And mera jo admission hua hai, it has like, I was the last person to enter. I was waitlist ka number 39. Yeah, like I remember the day I got the call, the day before that I was crying and I was like, nahi hone wala hai mera pakka. So I would suggest ki make a schedule, and from like months before, just put 1 hour of dedicated practice. And more than anything, what benefited me a lot is mocks. Do as many mocks as you can and actually analyze those mocks. The first time, my biggest mistake was I didn't analyze my mocks. The second time, I had a spreadsheet that I extensively wrote down things in. And that was after seeing other people who talked about their preparation. They were like, note down what mistakes, what not. So that, more than preparing and like learning the types of questions, of course, if you don't know concepts, you need to learn concepts. But more than that, mocks, like 50 mocks, 40 mocks. I don't know. Like a lot of people have done like 100 mocks. Just do as many mocks as you can. Even before you think you're ready enough to write a mock, write a mock.
Okay, Shika.
So before I start, I would confess that I am worst at maths. Like in 11th standard, I took mathematics as a subject and I got just the passing marks, and then I dropped it. So I did this and we know that in IPMAT we had 2 sections for quants, and I did this thing ki I chose particular chapters in which I think I can do good, and I prepared those chapters itself. And I did good at mathematics. I know I just cleared the cutoff in the quant section, and I would also say take mocks, because that's the best thing. Analyze it, because even I took mocks, and then I realized ki I have to focus on verbal ability too. I would say just take mocks and prepare for the chapters in which you think you can do good.
Right. Like people always say that, okay, first I'll complete the syllabus and then I'll go for mocks. I think syllabus kabhi complete nahi hota. Kabhi nahi, never. So right now, start the mocks. That would be a best advice. Coming to Kisle, I don't think तेरे को पता भी होगा that IPMAT exists. Okay, IPMAT Indore.
Yeah.
So SAT के लिए, what will you give like tip to the student who are writing SAT for IIM Ranchi?
So,
Like we know people who got actually 1400 plus and still got rejected from Ranchi. So you have to score good, right, in SAT too. So Kisle.
see, problem with SAT is people take it too easy. I mean, getting a score is nice, but getting at the top 99 to 1 percentile and 2 percentile is kind of difficult. People don't put enough effort actually. I had a month. I didn't do a week thing like Bhavesh, not that smart. So a month, I opened Khan Academy. Khan Academy they make you the whole process for a month or whatever. Just keep solving it. Solve 10 questions, 100 questions daily, 20 questions, whatever you can, but be consistent just for a month. Because SAT you don't have to learn anything new. You just have to get your brain ready to process the questions. You don't have to like have some formulas ready or something, anything. You don't have to do anything. Khan Academy do solve 8 sample papers that are given in the official SAT handbook. It's like 1500, but get it definitely second hand for like 300-400 rupees. Don't buy it, it's way too expensive. SAT में already you're spending 10K. But one more thing, Buddy for Study is a website that offers 90% discount to Indians for SAT. So just do that, bro. It's like 9,000 rupees you're gonna save. So that's it. I don't think there's much about SAT.
Okay, yeah, we know that the maths part is easy there in SAT, but the English, the verbal part is really tough. The reading
No,
comprehension
it's
part.
not. It's
It's
really
not?
not, bro.
Okay, I felt
It's
that it
not.
was
It's
tough. I know
easier than CAT.
you
It's
are a
easier
bit
than CAT.
intelligent.
It's
We know
easier
that.
I'm not. And
Theory
easier
of
than IT, but
relativity, easy for Kisley, very hard for the rest of the world. I was helping Vani with reading comprehension, and I am making 3-4 mistakes in every passage. And then I realized कि okay, ऊपर का context है ना, वो पढ़ना चाहिए first. उसके बाद समझ आता क्या है
exactly.
passage.
Ah,
But isn't it easier than CAT key?
I don't think so, Kisley. I don't agree with you.
नहीं.
I solved both Arun Sharma for CAT and the college board book for SAT, and I saw the difference.
Well, maybe I'm just more.
Ha.
Smart.
Also-
Smart.
No.
intelligent. Yes, you are, Kisla. You
Never
don't
mind.
mention that.
Continue.
So let's go to PI. So we all gave PI for Ranchi. So let's just talk about the PI thing. We'll start with Kisle. How was your PI
Dude,
experience,
they
Kisle?
ask questions. They ask questions about Netflix and stuff, and I don't watch TV shows. They're like, tell 3 management movies, and I was like, Wolf of Wall Street, and then I didn't know any other. So be sure to watch all your TV shows. Be ready for the questions, and
Okay.
दूसरा चीज,
Huh.
they'll ask about questions from your physics, chemistry. Mere se, they asked about math, even though I didn't have math, so I don't know. I think they ignored the part that I said bio or extracurriculars. If you don't have extracurriculars, don't make story up. Just say no. I didn't have any extracurricular. I said no. I don't. That's it. That was my interview. That lasted like 20 minutes, maybe more than most of people here. We had a nice talk actually.
Yeah, right. Bipasha?
मेरी इंटरव्यू में बैंड बजी. मुझे डर लग रहा था. Like it was a rapid fire where questions were thrown at me and they were about, because I mentioned that I was a dropper and I was in DU. So eco के ऐसे questions and I didn't know about those things. So after the interview I was like नहीं हो रहा है मेरा पक्का छोड़ दो. And essentially मतलब whatever you say, just don't say nonsense that you don't know about. They just want to make sure that like you're not talking about things that you're not like overconfident and that you know the subjects that you've been taught. If I say that I like mathematics or I know mathematics, I need to be able to explain concepts, or else like they're just trying to check how genuine you are as a person. I think that's what they're trying to achieve from an interview.
Okay, Bhavesh.
So in my interview, if I didn't know something, this is what I would do. Like Kisley, ask me a biology question.
What's the powerhouse of the sun?
So I'm not familiar with that, but that is the first thing I Google after the interview. And that is how I was able to create a USP for myself by being very genuine. And I started off very enthusiastic. Like, good morning, sir. And they're like, you're very animated, Mr. Bhavesh. Yes, sir, my mom made amazing food. Kya khaya? And they just shifted to Hindi. I'm like, potato. And then they were like, huh? I'm like, I'm on a diet, sir. But potato is not part of a diet. And this is where I knew I messed up because I was a bit nervous starting with. Like, sir, how special hai? And it just went on. And sir then asked me a question. Economics aata hai? I'm like, yes, sir, my favorite subject. It's like, explain LDMU. Like, sir, I have 10 potatoes on my plate. If I eat one, I'm happy. If I eat the second one, I'm even more happy. If I eat the third one, I'm greatly happy. If I eat the fourth one, my happiness decreases. Similarly, the utility I derive decreases and whatnot. And my interview was very short, very sweet, 6-7 minutes, and okay. So I feel like this was my USP. Like I felt like I had a very good personality to show off. So that is it.
Yeah, right. If you know how to steer your interview where you want it to be, like this is the best part. You just start, like when my interview came in Indore and Rohtak, they did not mention anything about introduction. I just mugged up the introduction part, like a 1-minute introduction straight away. If they ask, I'll vomit there. But they did not ask about it. And in Ranchi, they did. And I was like, I should cry first, or I should do the introduction part first. And then I started giving the introduction, and they picked up question from there. Like I said that I'm very much interested in geopolitics, and then they started grilling me on that. So that was the good part. So just don't globe, I would say. Right. Okay, so Ishika, you also gave Indoor's interview, right? And so how was your experience? How was it different from Ranchi?
Okay, so when my Indor's interview started, the first question was from higher mathematics that was shot on my face. And I was so nervous. I was so nervous that I said, sorry, sir, I didn't had mathematics in my 11th and 12th. And I knew at this point, okay, I'm not getting into IIM. Then later on, they asked a few questions about other subjects as well. But after the interview, I was pretty sure that, okay, it didn't went so well. But in the Rachi's interview was on my birthday. So the first thing they said was happy birthday. And then this thing cheered me up. Okay. Now I was feeling much better. I was not so nervous. The interviewers asked the questions which I really wanted them to ask. They asked me about my writing. I write. So they asked me about that one. And they literally asked me to sing a song in the interview. And I know I don't sing so good like you, Sahil, but yeah, I can sing thoda bahut. So they were impressed by that. And okay, so finally मुझे ऐसा लगा कि हाँ चलो थोड़ा बर्थडे पे था इंटरव्यू, थोड़ा तो अच्छा गया है, तो थोड़ा बहुत चांस था. And finally हो गया.
Yeah, cool. So we will all agree on this. Like Indore and Rohtak, they are more inclined toward academic, right? They ask more questions on academic. It's like when I entered, nothing, no name, nothing. They were like, fluid mechanics ka question batao ye wala. And I was like, dude, thoda to samajhne ka saans lene do na. And Indore happened like that. But in Ranchi, every single person experienced that they focused more on extracurricular and co-curricular activities and your interests basically. So that is the reason I think our batch is so diverse, and we have people doing things like, and every other person is doing something, right? Okay, so what mistakes did you all do, guys? Like we know that our first preference were Indore, excluding Kishle. You don't need to answer this. So our first preference was Indore, and we did some mistakes. And Bhavesh, especially you're surrounded by many aspirants, like you interact with them daily. So you may have saw people like what mistakes they are doing.
Most common mistake is no one is giving time to revising the topics. They are thinking if I put 30 minutes in revision, my syllabus complete nahi hoga. But no, if you put 30 minutes every day, only then you'll be able to retain all the knowledge. So revision is very important.
I think
Bipasha.
consistency, like just even 5 minutes of, like, I remember someone had advised me to do word power made easy, and I couldn't find the time to do that. But just, take out some time and just be consistent with all of your other studies, because now I know the value of consistency. Like even a little goes a very long way, but that little has to happen every day. And oh yeah, the importance of a community. So both the times that I sort of wrote my exam, I didn't have people along with me. Like I didn't have friends who I could actively reach out to, like, hey, I have a doubt in this, can you solve this? Or hey, this is a problem, can you explain this to me? It's very important that if in case you don't have that, or if you don't need that, that's great. But it's very, like, it really helps. You have someone that you can bank on, especially when you're a dropper, because there's already a lot of like stuff going on that I couldn't do this once, and what if I don't do it again, and my whole year is going to go to waste, because like it's a very peculiar situation you're in. And because everybody is thinking, nay, it's easier for you now, you have like a whole year, but like the mental sort of pressure that you go through is on a different level, because there's that tension ki, if I don't do this time, then I don't have the opportunity to do this again. So try to make sure that you have somebody around, maybe in your corner, who understands what you're going through. And if that is not possible, then just be as consistent as you can.
Ishika.
Okay, so the first time when I gave my exam, my mistake that I realized, at the end, was that don't try to cover each and every topic. just pick some topics which you are good at. And yeah, one more thing I would say, that when we start giving mocks, we don't really get so good marks. So the thing is, don't get disappointed from that. Because slowly you will improve. That is for sure. When I started giving mocks, I used to get very low marks, and I get disappointed, and I stopped giving mocks. But yeah, I got this thing from some videos and everywhere that no, you have to get the mocks. So I started giving mocks again, and yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, same from my side too. Like I started giving mocks very late. Like I thought that chalo syllabus will, complete the syllabus, दो तीन बार रिवाइज कर लेंगे, then तो फिर फोड़ देंगे इस IPM के मॉक में rank 1. But it never happened actually. Like every time I gave a mock, I was so underconfident, like कि अब क्यों दें, like there is no point, ऐसे भी नहीं clear हो रहा है. तो you start early, you'll know how to improve. Like उसके बाद लास्ट मंथ में तुम रोज 2 मॉक भी घिसते रह जाओगे, नॉट गेट टाइम टू एनालाइज इट एंड इम्प्रूव अपॉन इट. सो वो चीज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है. सेकेंड थिंग आई वुड से कि जो मेरा मिस्टेक था, आई फोकस्ड ऑन अ लॉट ऑफ बुक्स. सो I would say कि solving one book 10 times is better than solving 10 books one time. So that is really good, as Bipasha and Bhavesh said, consistency and revising. Kislai, आपको भी कुछ ऐड करना? You can go for it. Like
IPMAT, I can't say too much, but I'll say one thing. Have presence of mind during the interview. They asked me, I did submit my problem IDs and all everything. But when they started the interview, they were like, you haven't submitted your Aadhaar card. But I did remember that I submitted, so I kept on saying, ki, I did submit. I'm sure about that. And then later they said, ki, you submitted. We were joking around. So everything you do on a daily basis, like have presence of mind, you're gonna crack the interview part. Exam part, I can't say anything. IPMAT I haven't given.
So अगर तुम्हें थोड़ा सा भी कॉन्फिडेंस है कि एग्जाम क्लियर हो जाएगा, स्टार्ट प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर द इंटरव्यू. क्योंकि जो द टाइम स्पेन दैट यू गेट इन बिटवीन, दैट्स नॉट इनफ कि तुम एकदम स्टार्टिंग से स्टार्ट करो एंड एक्सेल कर जाओ. सो स्टार्ट प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर द इंटरव्यू if you have even this much confidence that you can clear the exam.
Or एक और चीज, while you're giving the exam, if in case you realize the exam is hard, remember that it's not just hard for you, it's hard for everybody. And this happened like even in the pattern change, both the times that I gave, like I think a month before or a little less than a month before, they changed the pattern. And I was first 1.5 weeks, so I was panicking that, oh my God, what is going to happen? I don't know how to give it the new pattern, and I don't know how to manage my time. And I've already learned how to do it in a certain way. But realize if you're going through something, each and every single aspirant is also going through the same thing. So the playing field is leveled. And just don't let that like get over you or like completely take over your mind. So try to keep your cool. And this is not exactly related to preparation, but I would highly suggest like aspirants to practice meditation, because that kind of like you need a little bit of calmness while you're giving the paper. Because inevitably agar like 5 सवाल एक साथ नहीं बनते हैं तो तुम्हारा confidence drop होगा. You really need that kind of like a mental practice. If you have already practiced meditation and mindfulness and all of those things, then you sort of have that calm that you can bring yourself back. So that is very important, bringing yourself back in the examination after you mess up.
True. Okay, so the next question is it's especially for Bhavesh. Okay, so how to build a killer profile, like for interview and for future also. Like I get juniors asking like bhaiya kaise banaye, kaise kare. And I saw your profile, Bhavesh, and it was like lit. So could you please throw some light on that?
Yes. If anyone is trying to get certifications after your exam, before the interview, date aata hai certificate mein, interviewers know you're doing it only for the sake of the interview. If you have an uncle who has an NGO and you get a certificate from him, and they don't see the repetitiveness of volunteering and working in NGOs throughout your high school, they know you did it only for the sake of this. And you have to be very genuine in that regard. So nahi hai, not an issue. Don't worry too much or don't fake it. Now, if you do have time, and you don't have much in school, and maybe you're not in sports, then one good way of getting in and getting some sort of accreditation is to submit your articles to college societies. So if in Ranchi, we have a marketing society, and they accept articles every month and apply to like every single college. And what you can do is in the interview, you can at least say, I have a passion towards economics. And I found this opportunity online. I submitted my article. It was on LDMU, Law of Diminishing Marginal Utility. It's published in NMIMS magazine. And 100% uske baad, they're going to ask you a question on that. So this is how you can get accreditation. You also showed that what you're doing in your profile is connected with some sort of proof. Saying ki I'm interested in economics is one thing. Saying ki I got 99 in economics is second thing. Saying that you published an article about economics is the third thing. So you need to give a proof. I call this, so what? Okay, you have a Google ka digital marketing certificate. So what? I got an internship at XYZ where I practiced this. So what? I was able to get 13.3% of ROI with my advertisement. So these 3 steps is very important when you put anything in your profile or your CV. So you can take these competitions, which are available in D2C right now. But in the longer run, look out for opportunities and do not be afraid, because inaction is much more costlier than failure. Nahi hua to nahi hua. Okay, you lost 1 hour of your life. Theek hai. Let's sleep 15 minutes late. Let's work super hard. Let's complete more work. So that's the philosophy of life.
A good one.
This is a question that people keep asking me.
I don't think it's such an answer they'll get anywhere.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, so the last question, Bhavesh, you can choose not to answer this, but people keep asking me like, Bhaiya, मुझे ये भी मिल रहा है, मुझे वो भी मिल रहा है. I'm getting into Rohtak और रांची दोनों. क्या करें चूज? ऑल्दो कि आपके पास वो चॉइस रहेगा नहीं, क्योंकि रांची थोड़ा लेट रिजल्ट्स डिक्लेयर करता है एंड रोहतक सबसे पहले अपना काम खत्म करके दे विल रैप अप एवरीथिंग. दे विल नॉट गेट, इफ यू आर वेरी रिच एंड यू आर लाइक विलिंग टू स्पेंड 1 to 2 lakh rupees and then coming to Ranchi, it's good. But so what do you guys think? Which one is better, Rohtak or Ranchi?
देखो, whatever knowledge we have about Rohtak is from our peers, है ना? So let's just admit कि it is not absolute knowledge. हम like none of us, to my knowledge, have gone to Rohtak, actually studied there for a couple of months and then come here. So that is one little thing that audience को भी पता होना चाहिए, याद रखना चाहिए. So Rohtak is known to be very rigorous, right? They have their schedules. They're going to make you work from this time to that time. And that is good for someone who likes schedules, who like they like it when the schedule is given to them and they can follow it, right? For somebody who has their own schedules or who is self-motivated enough to say, hey, if you give me free time, I will do something on my own, I think Ranchi makes more sense. And the thing is that we have a lot of free time. So even between our classes, we have free time, and our classes are like, we have some days 3 hours worth of class, some days 4.5 hours worth of class. So you can imagine a lot of free time. All of us know we have a lot of free time. That's why our batchmates are able to do so many other things, right? Sahil, you're able to do this YouTube channel because you have time. Bhavesh is able to do whatever he's doing because Ranchi gives him freedom, and also because Bhavesh is Bhavesh. Hai na? So the whole idea is that if you think you can, if you're given a lot of time and you can manage that, and that is suiting you, then Ranchi makes more sense. But agar you like somebody giving you a schedule and you sticking to it, then Rohtak makes more sense. And then also कि तुम कितना pressure deal कर सकते हो, right? Ranchi में उतना pressure नहीं है. There are times like before our exams, all of a sudden काफी सारी चीजें आती है, project submit करने हैं, exam के लिए पढ़ना ये है वो है, तब pressure high रहता है. वो हर college में होता है. But in general, the pressure is at a relatively lower level. So and the thing is, if you're over here, you need to do something else, वरना तुम ये degree waste कर रहे हो, in my opinion. So that is just something. Kisle, Ishika, what do you guys think?
So I'll add something to the last question and to this question. Invest on yourself. And don't buy Adidas, don't buy Gucci, nothing. Just invest all the money and time on yourself. I mean, Ranchi doesn't leave you with the money, but does give you the time to invest on yourself. So skill up, do your best, and build the profile. Along with the IIM tag, you'll have sufficient skills, but you can learn it for free too. Like we have Twitter, you have Reddit, that like Reddit pages that are actually good, and YouTube. Bhavesh's YouTube channel. You can learn stuffs about PPT, BBA, and anything, not necessarily related to marketing. Learn art if you want. Learn music if you want. Everything works. That's all I have to say.
Okay, see, I don't need to compare both the colleges, and I really don't know what the curriculum is at Rohtak. But I would say कि Ranchi has a very diverse curriculum. You know, you get to learn biology, physics, जो कि मैंने 10th में छोड़ दिया ताकि मुझे पढ़ना ना पड़े. But still, I get it here. So you have such subjects. Then you have arts appreciation, which is completely a different thing. You have like mathematics, which is for sure you have to study mathematics. So if you want to learn so many different things at one place, Ranchi is a good option for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
One thing for sure I know,
Hmm.
because compared to Rohtak and Ranchi, at least in my opinion, disclaimer, don't cancel me, the professors and the chairperson over here are very open to students' ideas in reforming or adding more value to the IPM course, which I find it very surprising. And I'm pretty sure no other colleges has this much leeway when it comes to students sharing their opinion. They are very open and approachable. For that reason, I'm in Ranchi.
True. For me also, like, again, it is very subjective. Like, it depends on which aspect you are judging. If international exposure is really important for you, like it was very important for me. So Ranchi was the place. Like Rohtak does not have like foreign placements and that much of foreign exposure as compared to Ranchi. And again, my home is near to Ranchi. So I was comparing it to that. I also had interest in marketing, and if we compare that, marketing and HR, so I was really confused, but I had that interest in both the sectors. So Ranchi is best in both if we compare all the new IIMs. So if you need to judge on like really, like if you want to go if you are near to Delhi NCR region, so you can go to Rohtak, obviously. So one thing is that when I did the research in 2020, Rohtak conducted their exams on Google Form, and they like interviewed 5,000 aspirants. So that was a trigger point for me. Like that, it had a bad impression on me. Like we are just focusing on peer group right now. We are talking about our peer group, and why we have that peer group, because we are choosing them from two standardized exam like IPMAT Indore and SAT. Both of them are good exams, and selecting students from like Google Form exams, I don't think that was justified. So that had a bad impression. That was also a main reason, and I did not, after that I did not research more upon Rohtak. And when I saw that Rohtak is not having the foreign placement, like it added upon like, okay, chalo ab to chhod dete hain. Like it was like that.
Mm.
Also, just a sort of thought/opinion, I don't think so we should be comparing placements of the two at this stage, because I think IPM का कोई बैच अभी तक MBA में नहीं गया है in either रोहतक और रांची. भावेश, correct me if I'm wrong.
सही है.
सही है ना?
हाँ, तो जब तक ये बैच वहां तक नहीं जाता है, तो how can you compare the placements, right? वो तो MBA batches are like, sure, we're going to go through the same curriculum, but because our foundation is different, I don't think so it would be very fair to compare the two on the basis of placements.
Okay, let me correct myself. Like here, Bipasha, like I'm not comparing it on placements, but I was comparing कि वहाँ पे foreign
नहीं.
companies आते, मतलब foreign placement हुआ नहीं अभी तक MBA batches का, and obviously we'll get the MBA degree at the end. So
Yeah,
maybe वो change हो जाए, but अभी रांची दे रहा था, तो it was like good option.
I get your point about international placements, just in general, because I think a
in
lot
general,
of times I have
we
also
should
done
not
that.
compare. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for coming onto my channel. I hope aspirants को help मिलेंगे. like आप लोगों ने for your valuable tips. And for those who are watching this roundtable, there is another roundtable coming where we'll be interacting with JE people, the person who left engineering college and came to Ranchi, and a person who left Ranchi and then went to engineering college.
But to it.
Yes, in between. So you'll get to see that interaction too. So stay connected with the channel, and I'll attach Vartalab's link in the description. आप वहाँ पे जाके NID वाली पूरी वीडियो देख सकते हो. And ACE IPM, I don't think मैं.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much, guys. See you. Tata.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. That was beautiful.
You.